Perfect. 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 Perfect.
Well. It's been a long while, sir. You know, life.
Yeah,
But
lots of life.
you know, life has been pressing buttons on both of our ends, multiple ways than one. Just
No,
a
really,
lot of things
no,
happen.
no pun intended.
No pun intended. But yeah, welcome to pressing buttons. You know, as you see, you know, holidays are here. Lots of things have happened. The Game Awards happened, a lot of announcements and a lot of winners. As the title of this episode is, indie games are kind of making a comeback in terms of really kind of. I would say this is a grand culmination, and all three of us in our group chat talked about it. Just where people, the consumers, are kind of fed up with the quadruple A, triple A bullshit that's been going on in the gaming industry.
As have I.
And Expedition 33 basically shook it up in a significant way that it really had folks gasping at like, I can't believe. And it's like, guys, they're basically developers from a company that they fucking hated being a part of, and they just formed their own company and they put out a fucking great ass game that looks like a triple A game, but it was actually an indie game. Funny enough.
I mean, this is what happens when a punk rock album or group wins Group of the Year at the Grammys by putting out by putting out anti-establishment music, which is what punk is.
Yeah.
And
the game was under $70.
And for people to be surprised that this won, like, what did you expect? When you go 100% against the grain, especially with the type of material that's been shoveled out to the masses for $80 to $90 to $100 a pop, and you're turning in these subpar games, yet a company that's honestly about the size of
these are former Ubisoft people, right?
Yeah, former Ubisoft people. But I'm saying you're talking about a company like a development team about the size of a small classroom in the middle, like a small classroom in the middle, like in the middle of a rural area, managed to craft together a game with good story, good gameplay, no issues,
unique graphics,
and a price tag that was cut below its competitors.
Yeah, it was like $50 for it, I believe.
Yeah, and you're wondering how did this game win?
Did we not learn from NBA 2K5?
Did we not learn from
NFL 2K? NFL 2K5 was $20. I want people. Let me bring back people to 2005.
You talking about them days when they was dropping them games for like $20 a pop back in the day. No, they did that for like 3 years.
But it's a good example with Expedition 33, right? So people forget. So 2004, 2K Games was like, all right, Madden, we see how much you're pricing your games, because I think Madden was $50 at the time, I believe. It might have been 40.
Yeah, it was 50.
Right? Yeah, 50. So 2K was like, well, we know our game is better than you, so you know what? NFL 2K5 with Terrell Owens on the cover, $20 on launch.
Not just NFL, the whole 2K lineup, NFL and NBA both did the $20 bit. It was like, live word, $20, 2K.
And it really blew open the doors, because here you have an NFL game that was $20 and it was doing stuff that was leaps and bounds better than Madden. And to this day, it's still doing leaps and bounds stuff better than Madden in its current iteration, which is the sad state of affairs of Madden, basically, at this point, right? So Expedition 33 did the same thing. It's like you had these former Ubisoft employees who was like, why don't we just make a game that gamers have been asking the gaming industry in totality to just put out? And they were like, our game's $50. Hey, it is what it is. And it's been selling like gangbusters.
Well, this is what happens when a group of developers hears the sounds of, like of the masses saying, we want different games. We want, we're tired of the status quo. Can you give us something different? And because said company is so terrified to just take like a pinky toe outside of the box of of normality, and make something just a smidge different. They're terrified of losing money by doing that. So enters Expedition 33 has entered the chat.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, like, as much as I like the Final Fantasy VII remake and rebirth games, there was always these conversations surrounding, like, and I don't think it came from Square Enix specifically, but like people kept saying, well, people don't want turn-based and blah blah blah. And I think a lot of that was fans kind of doing inner fights on what's works and what doesn't work, because some people are tired of turn-based, and then some people like turn-based because you have some of the sort of indie RPGs, like what the fuck was the name of that? Octopath Traveler as an example of that. Yeah, things like that. So it's like when you get a Final Fantasy VII remake and rebirth, people are kind of like, yeah, I'm enjoying these games. They're really good, but like, damn, can we get back to turn-based instead of action RPG? Which I get.
Which is where the indie crowd comes from, because a lot of RPGs that come from indie companies have been making turn-based games.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was just a rumor or something, but I could have sworn that Final Fantasy VII Remake was supposed to have, like, you can choose your battle system, whether you want it action RPG style like Kingdom Hearts or FF16 or 15, or you can choose turn-based.
You can, but it's like a weird turn-based. It's not like the traditional one party's on this side. It's like a very weird. It's basically it's a weird turn-based. It's not like Expedition 33's where it's like Expedition 33's turn-based is like it still has that traditional enemy on one side, you're on the other, but you have like a little bit more action. Like I think you can parry enemies' moves with certain actions and stuff. So it's like it's basically what people felt like remake and rebirth should have been, which fair, but at the same time, I get where Square Enix was going at it, where there was like, hey, let's kind of like really make it more action RPG-ish, because hey, they got success with Final Fantasy 15 and to a degree 16, because I'm not really a big fan of 16, to be honest with you, like that, just because, and not on the gameplay, but more on the narrative, because it's that narrative for 16 is all over the fucking place personally, but anyways, starting off this episode, streaming awards. I'm looking at you on this because this is the first time I've ever heard of this. What is the streaming awards?
Well, first of all, the streaming awards was all right. It was in the words of your boy Nick Fury, there was an idea, right?
If I started off, I already know what this is.
If I could be nice about it, Chris, I will say that if there was an idea and, brought on by one cutie Cinderella. Now,
okay, I'm familiar with the name. I just don't care.
I mean, you should be. I mean, if they're like her, along with Hassan Piker, Pokimane, like that whole group of the LA streamer best friends. You know how
LA is where you go to get if you're trying to get on.
Yeah, I mean, well, in the FGC, everybody, like anybody on back in the R Kappa days, will refer to the FGC Illuminati as Justin and Friends.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is more of the Twitch variant is Hassan and Friends. So, so she had this idea of making a streamer awards, and instead of it being like VidCon or anything like that, this was just like a literal award show. And a lot of people who side eye Twitch, because let's just be real, Twitch has not just one, two, probably quadruple black eyes right now because of the whole thing that went down at TwitchCon with Emiru. And this was brought on the fact that people were warning people not to go to TwitchCon this year because this was going to happen.
Even past TwitchCon, just Twitch as a business has been
oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm not even talking about just
I know that, but still,
like just from Dan Clancy and all of his shenanigans. I mean, bro, how are you going to show off new features of your app you're showing it from your own personal account, and all like you open it up, and all we're seeing is all of the e-girls that you follow, subscribe to, whatever. I mean, every last one of them. I can understand there's like one or two, and then there's like a variety of streamers, but bro, your entire follow block is every e-girl.
Wolf, bro.
I mean, granted, he didn't even have to play it off. He just looked like he was scrolling through, like, "Yep, this is my follow list." This,
like, you're the wrong person to really be doing these presentations, sir. Like, chill.
I mean, you could have listen. You could have went into anybody who you decided to literally put into the top 0.01% of Twitch, but you decided to do it yourself. Anyway, back to Cinderella. So she makes this award show, and a lot of people were speculating, well, like what this is just going to be another like this like no problem. This is just going to be what, like another like self-masturbatory like event where all the LA streamers are just going to get together and just huff their own farts and give their own friends awards and all this other stuff. Everybody was saying like any any bad thing, like and just tossing this thing in the trash can. I mean, literally slam dunking Larry Johnson style in the trash can of this award show. And a lot of them were were right to feel that way, because not only did you made something like this, but here's something that you should have learned.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna run an event like this, especially an award show,
yeah,
you and I, we've been around the con space. We've seen both the inner and outer side, especially at BlurCon, of how things work.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing that the owner of this event should be doing is also trying to host it.
Yeah, when you're wearing too many hats, it tends to become a problem.
And she thought that she could do it, and God bless her. You know what I'm saying? Godspeed to you for thinking that you could do it. That was cute. You even brought in a like your other friend, Fan. I'm just gonna be honest. I only know about out of that entire group of people, I think I only know about maybe 2%, and that's already too much that I need to know.
I mean,
but you have her coming out, and when the both of you, the dynamic duo of just a terrible joke telling, I mean, it's one thing to throw out a cringe joke, but when you're throwing out cringe jokes that aren't even remotely funny, it's like you're taking stuff that's happened to people. And whether this was scripted or not, I really don't care. The whole thing was delivered terribly. It's like watching a comedian bomb. And the problem is that these people aren't even comedians, but you're trying to be funny and it ain't working.
And to me, honestly, at least from what I saw from that award show, you ever get the vibe that I got was, I don't think any of you people in that room like each other.
No,
we're not talking like when you're in the FGC, the competitiveness of it, but everybody is still cool once you get past the competitiveness, right? Like you get, right? This just felt like none of y'all motherfuckers fuck with each other, and y'all hate each other because all y'all are jockeying for like the top position of that person, and it doesn't really feel like the atmosphere felt like very awardy.
No, because I don't want to say the competitiveness. I mean, if there was any competitiveness, it was people hoping in anticipation that they would get picked. It was really just more so a multi-hour long ego trip.
Yeah,
everybody. I mean, the amount of there was so much ego inflation going on in there, you could barely get in the room.
I mean, you expect egos in those kind of situations, but goddamn, man, it was like everybody was on 10.
Absolutely.
I'm like, bro, like, and I think that's probably why, like, it's like me and certain streamers past like Ninja and Calcinet. Like, there are certain ones that we follow on our respective Twitch channels because we like some of the stuff they putting down. And then there's others where I'm sitting back asking myself, one, who are you? But two, like, what do you do? And like, I feel there's a measure of audacity to really be pissy that you didn't get an award or anything, because it's like, what are you actually contributing in the space that makes me feel that you're worth a damn to be, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that's right for me as a consumer. I don't know.
No, I can piggyback off of that. So, like, for example, just like how you said that, you know, you don't get how some of these people felt that they should feel some type of way that they didn't get selected, they didn't get nominated, they didn't win, they, nothing, right?
Yeah.
This is when you now flip that to the other side of the circle of best friends in LA, right?
Yeah.
Hassan, I don't even think he said that he either wasn't nominated for something, but he got an award anyway. And then he tells people that didn't get an award, like you shouldn't even be mad. I mean, I didn't get nominated for Stream of the Year, but I got an award for blah blah blah, and I'm like,
it's not helping, sir.
I don't understand how can somebody just be completely missing the entire mark. And it's not like this is, like the tiniest letter on a I'm sorry, like the tiniest letter on the chart for an eye exam. I mean, bro, this is like the entire ocean here, and you completely missed it. I don't get it. And going into this whole thing, apparently all the jokes were scripted.
I couldn't tell because that shit, all them jokes just landed.
They were extremely lame. When they got to Fan walking through the crowd, she's like walking around somewhat trolling people. She gets to Hassan, and no, it wasn't Hassan. Actually, it was Hassan, but it was Cutie that was saying it from the stage, talking about, if you see so and so, you can take out your remote. It's okay. And I'm like, oh wow, a Dogtober shot collar joke. This is what we're doing now. And the only reason why he was being a good sport about it is because he knew about it way in advance, and he okayed these jokes.
Or the Casanet Diddy joke, which landed like a fucking thud.
Not even a thud, sir. That was throwing a center block over the Wilson Bridge.
Oof. Like, I'm sitting there like,
now I get it. Stupid joke. Very stupid joke, and totally not funny. I get why you said it, because after Mafiathon, right? After Mafiathon had passed, and Kai, he hit a new milestone in followers and whatnot. And by the way, probably the only one who honestly deserved any award from this award show was Kai. Because he gave I would say he gave it like a pretty good speech about it. But prior to that, Fan says, yeah, congratulations on your interview with 50 Cent. That was you, right? I'm like, okay, you're doing a Diddy joke. And I get why you said the Diddy joke, because after Mafiathon and after he hit his milestone, he promised this on stream that he would cut his dreads off. Now if Kai goes and cuts his dreads, and he did say, like, I think it was like in a video after he had cut it, he was hanging with his homeboys, and somebody mentioned, either somebody in the chat said, bro, you look like Diddy right now. And he was on camera talking about, I don't look like Diddy, yo. I don't look like him.
Like, my thing is, I would have
been. I'm like, Kai, you kind of do, but
here's the thing about the joke to me, and I think that's like that was the first thing I saw from the streaming thing before I started looking up like what was happening, because like I saw folks on Twitter and Blue Sky kind of talking about just the weird, awkward nature of that award show. There were other people on IG and also YouTube that I came across that were talking about like Wolf, like the guys from the Jam podcast were talking about it. Like,
oh yes,
they were like, bro, do these people like each other? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like,
no, they don't.
Like I said, the Diddy joke where I was just sitting there like, if it was Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock or somebody that's like an actual seasoned comedian telling that joke, it would have hit, and we were all been laughing. But you got this girl who I don't fucking know saying it in the most weirdest way, and it's like, hey, lady, read the room. You need to be this skin color to make that joke. I'm sorry, like I'm sorry.
At minimum,
because it like at least then it's like, all right. It's just you didn't execute the joke correctly. Fine, we will let it go and be like, all right, whatever.
And there are ways to do this. You don't necessarily have to be that skin color to do it, because you could be Ricky. No, seriously, Chris, think about it. You could be Ricky Gervais and just slam the entire Hollywood industry in front of the entire Hollywood industry.
Yeah.
When he did that at award show, I know for a fact he did not care if he,
he's never cared. That's been his MO.
No. I'm talking about, I know he does not care if he's ever if he's never invited back to host that award show. And he even said it. He's like, look, I'm saying these jokes. I don't care how you react to it. You can go like completely straight and matter of fact about it and just say what you got to say it with your chest, basically. But when you're trying to say it in a way that to like in a way of illustrating that you're trying to be funny, like, oh, these are just jokes, like, no, don't do that. No, don't study a comedy routine. And no, here's the problem, and here's also the other problem, Chris. I really do think that these people actually stood in the mirror for about a good hour and a half studying these comedic jokes that they were going to lob at these egotistic Twitch streamers, and really thought that this was going to go over. No,
I mean, yeah,
not one single joke that was told was funny. And after the thing with Kai, one of Kai's homeboys asked for the mic and was like, yo, if you're gonna be walking around here telling these jokes, at least be funny. And
zero lies.
Now hold on. I agree. No lies were told. But when she took the mic back and said, do you want to tell a joke? And he grabs the mic and goes, no. I was like, bro, that was an opportunity missed. Because you want to know what I would have said, and I'm totally stealing this joke from somebody else who said it. The moment she hands him the mic and say, do you want to tell a joke? I would have said, yeah. Who's fan? Oh, drop the mic.
Bro, that would have blew it up right there. Who the fuck is this motherfucker?
It's like, who are you?
Yeah, that would have really been it right there if that was the case and shit. It was just like, all right, cool,
And then and because of how he felt, I guess somebody, I don't want to say that this guy was a mod for her or something, or if he was a friend of hers or whatever, but he happens to be in the bathroom, and brother that grabbed the mic and said all that stuff was crashing out in the bathroom because, just because, he felt that Kai got disrespected. And so he was saying all these things that, he wanted to basically assault her, and I'm like, wait, did he really
you're doing
say
too
that?
much? It's like you're doing too much.
I mean, I get he was flipping out, he was crashing out, and of course he responded to this when he caught wind of it, and he tried to de-escalate the whole situation and say, he say, why does this dude saying all this stuff that's completely incorrect? I didn't say none of that stuff. It's like what I said was boom, 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 and I'm like, look, I get it, but it's Twitch. Like, let's be real. Even if you did say it, 9 times out of 10, nothing's gonna really happen to you because you're friends with Kai Cenat. If anything, Kai would cut you off.
Thank you,
because he has done that. He's done that to celebrities, other streamers. Anytime he's ever felt disrespected by anybody, especially in his house, he will kick you out and he'll cut you completely off.
And to me, that's the power of.
That's the power of brand protection. My man is protecting his own.
Yeah, I mean, I think it says a lot about the entourage of Kai Cenat, because it's just like it's the most blatant. You're only here because you're cool with Kai, because otherwise by yourself you really are just nobody.
Oh yes, I mean
that's beyond just Kai. There's a lot of these streamers who I've noticed they got like an entourage, and I'm like, is this sustainable?
I mean, half of them, I would say, like half of them are like somewhat cool people that know how to just keep their mouth shut in front of the camera and just be there for Kai to, as a support system. The other half are straight up YNs. I'm just gonna keep it real. They're straight up. And speaking of YNs, his protege, who also got a joke lobbed at him by Cutie Cinderella, your boy Rakai, a little 17-year-old knucklehead here talking about. He was over here talking about. He gets a joke thrown at him by Cutie Cinderella, asking him, "So Kai, what's the coolest thing you've ever stolen?" And then she goes, no, don't say anything. Don't grab the mic. Like, it's a joke. It was a test. And you failed it. What are you doing? Have you not learned anything? I'm like, oh, cutie, stop. Just end this program, please. This award show is not doing anybody any favors. If anything, it's making you money, but it's not doing anybody any favors here.
It really isn't. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out there because it just I can go at length on just the state of streaming because there's times where I'm like, did I fuck up somewhere in life? Because these 17-year-olds are just coming into, prominence of being famous. I'm putting air quotes here because they stream, and then it's just I don't know. I always feel like ultimately it just feels like it's luck.
It's I would say luck, time, right place, right time.
Who
you know more specifically. Yeah, it's really just a lot of that because now I know you don't really care for this dude, but I follow It's a Gundam, and I watched his last live stream this past week, and he did say a lot of things that made sense in my opinion. Like we get, this is nothing worse than rich Twitch, or not even Twitch, just rich streamers in general trying to talk on the same level of regular folks.
I think that, I think that right there is probably
the most tone deaf thing ever.
I think that's probably where my sort of like, I don't fucking care about these streamers attitude is, because it just comes off like you somehow know. And it's not like, because I guess I was kind of thinking like it was some, oh, you're just old, Chris. So that's why. And it's like, no, because like there are plenty of young streamers that I've watched that I actually enjoy their stuff. So it's not like, oh, it's that, but it's just, it is that entitlement. It is that like, I know. And it's like, no, you don't. Like, bro, like you're coming into money and you don't know what the fuck to do.
I mean, my first question is, number one, what do you do? Like, who are you? And for the love of God, don't say an IRL streamer. Like, IRL streamer. I'm like, okay, get out of my face.
I mean, it's the same
IRL,
thing.
No, IRL streamers are the reason why a lot of public spaces can't even be public spaces anymore.
Oh, trust me, we can do a whole podcast on that shit, especially like overseas, Japan, and all that shit. Like,
don't even get me started on that.
Yeah, but anyways, Game Awards. So, as we said at the top,
before we get to the Game Awards, I just wanted to mention, by the way, shout out to Rakai for having probably the greatest crash out in streamer history. He didn't win. Oh, your girl India Love got on and tried to have a Kanye, Taylor Swift moment, talking about like Rakai should have been he should have won breakout streamer of the year, yada yada yada. I was like, dude, this thing was terrible. And of course she regretted it, went on her own stream, apologized for it. And I'm like, okay, damage is done. Get out of here.
Just get out of here. Just go home.
Speed, like we got to see Speed do a backflip on stage because that's Speed, and again, Kai mentioning taking care of his mental health, and I said, you know what, good on you. It's showing number one, character development. Okay, number one, character development. Number two, growth. Like Kai is definitely showing signs of growing up, because there was a video that said Kai has grown up or Kai has evolved. His friends didn't.
Yeah, because I think it's just it's maturity, much like anything else. If you think about it, like, you think about when we got into the space in our 20s and where the streaming and everything space was at, with your Dark Side Phils, your Ray William Johnsons and stuff that were doing streaming on the different spectrum and stuff, but just all the gaming. I'll keep it just the gaming streamers that we saw, like your Dark Side Phils and stuff that were doing that. And some of those streamers just kind of evolve with the times. And, Phil is kicking and screaming, even going into 2025, 2026. And it's just sad just seeing the slow death.
We could do an entire pressing button special on DSP that would probably get us.
Maybe not. That could happen.
No, I'm saying we really could, because number one, you and I met this dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Back when he had friends. Back
at his apex.
Yes. This was
at his apex. This was
at the peak, like 2012, like 2011, going into 2012.
He was making, I think this is pre.
This was Connecticut Phil.
No, this is pre-apocalypse Phil. Funny
Yeah,
enough.
that too. Pre-Adpocalypse.
Yeah.
I mean, long before Adpocalypse.
Oh,
Remember, Adpocalypse was what, 2015, 2016?
Yeah, so we're talking pre-apocalypse. He was flush with money, just like a lot of fucking YouTubers. So I'm not gonna put it just strictly on Phil.
But see, I'm not even talking about from the monetary perspective. I'm talking about this is him back when he went outside, when he had friends. You know, we met that guy. You know, who still had somewhat ties to the FGC, even though he was trying to distance himself from it. But still, we met that guy. I have watched that man's entire career, and I have never seen anybody who has gotten so many free layups from some of the most prominent streamers and YouTube personalities in the industry, and for you to still be at the same level that you've been at since 2012 is amazing.
Yeah,
it's something that needs to be studied.
But yeah, Game Awards happened. I think, as we said, Expedition 33 took it, swept it, but as expected, it deserved it. But you know, like I said, it's some of the categories. It was definitely tough competition because, like, when I look at, like, for instance, it won Expedition 33 won Best Game Direction. I mean, you're going up against Death Stranding 2, which I need to get, but everybody, from what I've seen of people playing it, they enjoy it. It's a really good game. Crazy, solid direction. Kojima basically is into Capcom. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's, you know, that's a good model to have. Ghost of Yote, again, solid game from Sucker Punch. I mean, you know, people had minor complaints, but it was more so like, the legit complaints was just more like, oh, they could have went a little bit more with the story in certain instances, which that makes sense.
Okay, I can give like legit complaints. All right, no, like, and I'm being totally real with you when I say this. Grifter side aside, I'm not gonna use grifter argument. Okay, the legit complaints that Yote got, and the reason why that it didn't win is, let's just keep it a full brick here, CJ. Number one, it's a sequel.
Yeah.
Number two, it's a sequel with a new protagonist. And number three, it's also a story that's been told God knows how many times. Like, how many revenge stories have we gotten?
But that's not even a slight, because you could say that about a lot of games.
It's not a slight. It's not a slight, but the game, again, it was also, from, I would say, like from a gameplay perspective, it's the first one with extra steps and refinement.
Yeah, I mean, I would
added more weapons and better gameplay.
Yeah, I would say the gameplay definitely was better, but like, it was just kind of weird how people were like, well, it should have won. I was like, guys, I love Ghost of Yote, but you got to look at the competition that's going up against. You got Haze 2, Split Fiction, you had Death Stranding 2, and then you have Expedition 33. As good as a game as it was, it's much like the Spider-Man 2 debacle. You have tough competition, and it's just at the end of the day, the better game won, but it doesn't mean. I think people had this correlation that if Ghost of Yote didn't win, it must be a shit game. And it's like, no, it's just
no, they didn't have that.
No, I ain't saying you.
No, I didn't say me. I said they didn't have that, because you want to know what their favorite argument is? Oh, this game won. It was like 3 million sales or whatever. Take that, Stellar Blade. Take that, Shuds.
I'm like, no. Really, to be now, the only
are we really doing this?
No, I will say this. I do feel there is validity to throwing it in Chud's faces that it didn't sell, even though it did. I think there is valid validity to that. But past that, it's like, guys, you won. The game is actually really good. It's sold well. You won.
Your game sold, but I still believe, Chris, that people really did get triggered over a literal shit post on Twitter, because that you and I've seen the AI image of, if Atsu looked like this, the game would have sold 1 million copies by now. I laughed at it because I knew that this was just a pot stirring post that was thrown out there. And the people, and of course there's always two sides. You have some people that went along with it and yucked it up, and then you have the other side of the people that really truly believe that to be the case. Like, if I'm making a game that looks like this, do I really need to bring in a character that looks like this? Do I really need to bring in a Mai Shiranui body style character?
Yeah, and that's
for a game telling the story, for the story I'm telling.
Yeah, and I think that's where, like, whenever you get these game awards, it really just boils down to, guys, at the end of the day, just getting a nomination shows that your game is worthy. whether it wins or not is like irrelevant at that point. Because at that stage, it's like, okay, it got nominated, which is good. All right, if it wins, it wins. If it don't, it don't. It's still a good game. That's it.
I take it a step further. I take it a step further, Chris. Whether you win or nominated or neither, at the end of the day, these are nothing more than glorified popularity contests.
It's been like that. We clocked it since the early days of G4. Whenever these gaming award shits, it's like it's a popularity contest. It's whatever.
These things are selected by committee. With some fan votes or whatnot, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Like, what matters is, do people like your game? Are people do you have people going on social media praising your game, or do you have people going on social media completely lambasting the game because they don't, because they found numerous problems with it? There's so much more than just getting an award, in my opinion.
Yeah, and like I said, Expedition 33 deserved it. The only one that had me rolling was best fighting game. We both know that when it comes to fighting games, it's not like fighting games are coming. There's yearly fighting games coming out every year because of the nature of where fighting games are at. Because it's just some games kind of fall in the wayside and others don't. So when I saw the lineup, it was like 2XKO, which ain't even fucking out yet, which I'm laughing. Why would you even put that in there? Mm-hmm. You had Capcom Fighting Collection 2. Okay, that makes sense. Fatal Fury City of Wolves, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and Virtua Fighter 5 Revo. It was either going to be Virtual Fighter or Fatal Fury if we're really being objective about it, and it was going to go to Fatal Fury.
Yeah, the fact that it went to Fatal Fury, I was like, okay, solid choice.
I'm fine with it. Like, it's cool. Like,
I would say for one thing, despite however you might feel about it, the game at least came out as a solid game. I mean, you buy the base game, it comes with the season pass. So the characters were coming out and you were getting them as they were releasing.
And Mr. Big got announced too as well.
Got announced and released early.
Which, I mean, Mr. Big looks pretty good. Like I said, I'm digging Fatal Fury. I definitely need to kind of like get back into it because again, there's been a ton of games I've been playing this year. But like I said, I'm happy for it and stuff, and it's still got people playing it, so that's great. I'm laughing. Mario Kart World won Best Sports Racing Game, which I'm like, cool. I mean,
Mario Kart World, all right, fine.
Yeah, like Last of Us won Best Adaptation, which, if I'm gonna be real, I'm not shocked. Like I said, Minecraft movie, it surprised me. I wasn't really big on the Devil May Cry Netflix show like that because it felt very try hard to me.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. I still prefer the 2004, I think it was.
Yeah, Madhouse is
Madhouse is like the OG Devil May Cry anime.
Yeah. Splinter Cell Death Watch, I'm like halfway through it. I'm actually enjoying it. It's a very subtle animated show. It's not blowing your doors off, but it fits what you expect out of a Splinter Cell Tom Clancy type vibe. So that was actually pretty good. And Until Dawn, that fucking movie is trash. I don't give a fuck with anybody. That movie is trash.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, Last of Us 1, I'm happy for it. It's cool. We'll see what the next season holds, despite everybody swearing that it is. Most anticipated games. I have a problem with this one. I really don't think GTA 6 should have won, personally.
I mean,
it should have went to Wolverine or Requiem, personally. I think Wolverine is more anticipated than GTA 6 to me.
I don't think so.
And I'm only saying that because, like, I'm not one to say that Rockstar should rush out GTA 6, but I'm really kind of looking at them because they also. So what was happening with Rockstar is that their workers went on strike, and for better pay and all that, and that kind of ruffled the feathers of the company. And on top of them delaying GTA 6 to what was it? Year after, not 2026.
No, so it's supposed to be now. It's supposed to be like early 27. It was originally going to be late 26, but I still believe that this still kind of deserves a most anticipated award because we've been talking about GTA 6, God, probably for the last 6 to 7 years.
Yeah.
And Wolverine right now is still in a weird space. I need to, despite that trailer that they put out, I'm like, I need to see more. I mean,
I like it. I mean, I like what it's
no,
putting in.
I mean, and it's fine, but I'm like this when it comes to video game trailers, showing me these split seconds of gameplay and a not even a quarter, like another split second cutscene, just these jump cut, jump cut, jump cut.
Some gameplay,
Yeah,
jump cut. Yeah, yeah.
it's sometimes it comes off kind of messy. Like when I saw it, it just looked like a mess, and I know that the game isn't even done yet, it's not out yet, and all that, and that's fine. Everybody, of course, ate this up like like cake, and I'm like, guys, let's chill for a second. Put out a solid trailer. You put out the hype trailer. Thank God there was no crappy hip hop music behind it, because that's always the telltale sign. No.
I mean, let's be real. Let's be real. Like last time they did that was what, Spider-Man 2?
No, hear me out. Anytime that you get a game, like anytime you want to put out anytime you put out a trailer for a game and it's got some really crappy hip hop music like in the back, like being used in the background, that's usually a telltale sign that your game is going to be bad, or it's a telltale sign that you do not have faith in your game.
I mean,
look at Call of Duty.
Yeah. I mean, well, I'm saying debatable on Call of Duty mainly because it's really dependent on pretty much after Modern Warfare 3, that's when it fell off on the music choice that they were using in those games personally.
Absolutely. Modern Warfare 3 has fallen off.
That was peak. Like, oh, okay, you got me. I'm in it. And then after that, it was like nobody gave a fuck about the rap music from fucking Black Ops series and what was it?
No, people have made jokes about it, like, oh, rap music in the trailer, especially for a first-person shooter. Y'all don't have faith in this.
Yeah,
you're trying to pull people in, but that's the whole point. That's my whole argument. Is like anytime I see a trailer for a video game, especially a video game, and they use like some of the crappiest hip hop music that they can find to push the trailer, I'm like, can we get the English version, please?
now some of the announcements that they had. So Resident Evil Requiem got their trailer, and Leon Kennedy is back.
Well, more like what was it? Leaks confirmed that Leon was in it, because I heard like back when they first confirmed it through the leaks that Leon is in the game. I said, okay, I believe he's in the game, especially since we're going back to Raccoon City. Yeah. And because of the Resident Evil Outbreak games, which are like more canon, or less now, not just canon, but more or less connected to Leon, I'm like, so at this point, you have all the reason in the world to bring him back into the game. And let's see if Capcom actually makes do on that, on that theory, and and they confirm that leak. Boom, trailer drops, and there he is. Matter of fact, the moment I heard Hunnigan talking, I'm like, confirmed, Leon's here.
Hey, I like the concept of the fact that you still got that giant crater in Raccoon City, but it looked like they built up around the fucking crater and shit.
I don't think so, because
or is this? See, and again,
you gotta remember, it's been like 20-something years.
The way the trailer is cut, I was assuming that they built something outside of that crater in a weird way. So maybe I'm mistaken on that.
Nobody, dude, when they said that Raccoon City was wiped off the map, it literally means it was wiped off the map.
Oh, okay. I mean, all right. So
you let off a bomb, like you let off a missile,
nuke,
a miniature nuke into into the town of Raccoon City.
That's two places. Thousand Oaks and fucking Raccoon City got a fucking crater.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, nature took that back. That's what's grown. That's what got built up around that was nature. Nature took it back.
I am curious though, how much of the gameplay is Leon and how much of it the gameplay is what's her face. That's where I'm curious on.
Grace.
Grace, because is it going to be a situation? Because one thing about Village is that when they did the reveal for Chris, I don't think we knew we were able to play Chris until the game came out, and then we got to that third act, and then it's like, oh shit, we could play as Chris, right?
Yeah, you play as Chris during the third act, but
they never
they
revealed
already-
that in the Village trailer
Yeah,
at all.
they
It was
didn't.
just we just saw Chris with his turtleneck and jacket and shit, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, Chris is in it, gotcha. But that was it.
But then, well, remember, you got to play as Chris in 7, but that was DLC.
That was DLC, and he looked way different. Which I
Yeah, he
feel Village was there saying, "Yeah, we're sorry for that version of Chris. We really apologize. We're going to give you back Resident Evil 6, Chris."
Surprised they didn't put out a patch.
You know, I'm really, you know what, I am shocked.
Drop a patch.
Just change the face. Change the face.
That's all they got to do.
Because it's first person in 7 any fucking way. So it's like, all right, just change the face up. That's all you gotta do. But I'm really curious on how much of this.
But they said, what they said was they said Grace was gonna, she was gonna be pretty much controlling running the whole survival horror aspect of the game, and Leon is gonna be pretty much front running the entire action side of the game. Even though we do see Grace using a gun in the game, I'm like, okay. Because she works in the FBI.
It has a very
so she has field training. Is she on Leon level or Chris level? Obviously not. But
it gives very Clock Tower vibes with her.
It does, but
which I'm fine with.
But it's like I said, they want to take Resident Evil back to being scary again.
Yeah, I think Village did a good job of being scary, but it still leaned heavy on the hey, we love RE4, give us action kind of thing. Which I'm like, all right. I would say 7 on the scary aspect. 7 did it better than 8. Oh yeah, 7, yeah, 7
more action.
Because the 7, think about it, your only enemies was the fucking mold.
The mold.
That was it, and you might have different variations of the mold, but because it was just the mold. Basically, that kind of raised the stakes of the survival horror elements of it.
So at the end of the day, it was all mold. You had regular lumpy body mold that moved like the regenerators, OG regenerators, not remake regenerators.
Yeah.
You had the chunky mold that just spewed mold everywhere. You had liquor moving mold, and it's the best way. That's the best way.
It really is. It's like, all right, cool.
His liquor body mold. If they crawl on the ground on all fours, I'm like, that's liquor.
And that's on top of the boss fight. So it's like the survival horror element was intact.
Yeah.
With that game compared to Village, which is like, hey guys, you remember Resident Evil 4? You loved it, and then it's just wolves and
not to mention that in 7, the camera was tight. It was it was much more tighter movement. You couldn't even run really. You couldn't run, you couldn't jump, you just moved. So that's what made 7 more scary than 8.
I feel the need to play this because I feel people need to see this because we talked about it offline, but it needs to be said because people really need to see how we feel about this. Street Fighter got a trailer that dropped during the movie thing, which I think threw everybody fucking off because number one, I knew they were doing a Street Fighter movie, but I didn't know they were already they're in post-production at this point, right? So I didn't even, and granted, I'm happy for that because I really wish a lot of studios get back to just not showing us shit about your movie and just surprises like this.
Or better yet, just not talk about it. The most talking they did about this movie was they just showed off
they just had the cat. They
showed the cast,
and that was it. It was
just
like,
cast
all right,
reveal.
cool. So we're gonna play it.
That's a reference.
Yeah.
Akuma.
Junie. Yep. And Joe.
Another reference.
Yeah, you know what? Era said it best when we were talking offline. He said it reminded him of how they did the teaser for the Tekken movie.
Yep.
And he's right.
You showed all the characters.
You showed all the characters. And I always felt, and I still feel to this day, Tekken was fine. It was in and out. It did its job. I didn't hate it. I wasn't in love with it, but it did the bare minimum of what I expected out of a Tekken movie. Could it have done more? Oh yes, we could definitely say they could have did more.
I mean,
for sure.
I believe you're being nice about it. I will say
I didn't hate it.
I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that the movie deserves any hate or anything. I believe it's something much worse. There was nothing memorable about it.
Yeah, just the visuals a little bit.
Outside of the visuals, there was really nothing memorable about the Tekken movie. I mean, we can go back to 94 Street Fighter movie and reference everything. I mean, from the crazy dialogue to Raul Julia's monologues to to Van Damme's coke, the Van Damme's coke fueled outburst moments and stuff. Tekken had nothing.
It's in the same boat as Legend of Chun-Li, because if you remember, both of those came out, just to give people an understanding, those two movies came out during a weird period of time in like the 2000s. I think
it was like early 2010s. It was like 09 to 2010.
Yeah.
Both of these.
It was that weird time where it's like with Tekken, it didn't get a distribution in theaters. It went direct to DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Legend of Chun-Li got a limited, and I'm being nice about this, it got 2 weeks in theaters and it went straight to fucking DVD after that.
After watching it,
yes, and I was shocked that they got a fucking movie release too in theaters.
After watching the movie and then finding out it was in theaters, I asked the question: who lost a bet? How did this get in theaters?
And you're right, like that Tekken movie in the grand scheme, as much as I remember aspects of it, if you're talking in general, yeah, it was definitely a forgettable movie.
It's super forgettable. The only thing that I remember from the Tekken movie was Brian was like the most OP. Like he was basically the sub boss that you had to get to. He literally, like, somebody literally went back to his debut in Tekken 3 when he was like the stage 9 before getting to Heihachi. He was like, bro, how is this guy? He's a literal cyborg, but he's giving everybody the most trouble. Okay. Suddenly we're back in T3. I'm cool with it. You know what? And you didn't show everybody because King wasn't in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we were missing some characters. It was like they threw darts at a board.
What's the easiest that we can do? And even Yoshimitsu, it had
a good look. I would say
it was a good look. It was definitely a good look. They I guess they were kind of like, all right, if we had to go for it with one character, who was going to be King or Yoshimitsu? Give us Yoshimitsu. All right, cool.
I'm like, fine.
And like when Nashi was
shout outs to Lateef Crowder playing Eddie.
Yeah, and shout out to Damon the Damon Dan Screws or whatever. He played Raven, which I gotta admit, he did look like Raven. Ain't gonna lie. Yeah. I mean, the character's looking, but like you said, it was forgettable, and like
he did no ninja stuff whatsoever, but he looked like him.
Yeah. So like with the Street Fighter trailer, on first passing, somebody said it best: AI tainted the water when it comes to how we look at things visually. Like obviously, it hasn't tainted me, but like you do with this era of the past 2-3 years of us getting flooded with content creators using AI on IG and YouTube and TikTok and shit. It's kind of like when you look at special effects in movies, you're like, is that AI? Is that real? Whatever and stuff. And I think the sort of visual look of this from this trailer, and again, it's a teaser, it's 43 seconds. The initial visuals of it, it does give off like AI, especially when Zangief's pulling. But then when I'm watching it like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times after that, I was like, okay, this actually looks pretty good. I get where they're going for. They're going for the wacky. This is Street Fighter. It has a very Street Fighter 6 vibe to it, which is what they're really leaning towards, which makes sense because that's a current game that's out.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'm curious. I mean, I understand both sides of people that are kind of like, I don't know, because we have this upcoming Mortal Kombat movie out. But honestly, I'm for a lot of this shit talking between both casts from both movies, because it just harkens back to how it was for us growing up, where it was like, are you a Street Fighter or are you a Mortal Kombat guy? And that's good for business, honestly, at the end of the day, if you're going to be real, like, especially in this era of adaptations, because I mean, you're coming off of your first MK movie, which in hindsight was very mediocre as fuck because it was just a prelude of this could have been an email, honestly, in the grand scheme of it all. And your second movie is what people felt the first movie should have been, which cool, but now your Street Fighter movie, it feels like they're just saying, fuck it, we're going to give you this wacky tournament. They're fighting each other. Here's your Bison. Here's your Dan. What looked like El Fuerte at the end.
Yeah, that was El Fuerte.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. But like, I don't know. It feels like they really aren't going for it. Like I said, we don't know what the story is going to be, which I'm fine with because I'd rather they keep that mystery up on what it could be.
I mean, a safe bet would be another tournament, not so much.
Bison runs a tournament.
Yeah, let it be Bison running a tournament or something, but just keep it a tournament,
Side story with Ryu, Ken, and Akuma, basically. Yeah, which probably makes sense because that's standard Street Fighter shit.
Or this movie might dare to do something that you got to be a seasoned vet in the movie industry to do,
which is
to have A, B, C, and D plot lines.
Jesus.
In the because you got the tournament, which is the main plot. Ryu, Ken, and Akuma, and their whole thing. Probably something with Guile and Bison, or Chun-Li and Bison. Either one, or the both of them teaming up to take him down, and the fourth one can be everything else.
You really want to watch Cody Rhodes and that guy?
No, I don't.
Exactly.
I don't want to see
Hey, they went for it. I give them that.
Like, listen, they already decided to give Guile his kicking Vega through a wall moment. The fact that he did a successful flash kick, I'm fine with that. But I'm like, bro, Cody. Somebody said this, and I rolled a tear laughing. Someone said, "Yo, why did they make Cody Rhodes Guile look like what's his name? Buzz Hazard from Small Soldier?"
I mean, look, that's why I said it's like when you look at it, and it doesn't help. Like they put out the posters. The posters are fine, but it is kind of very like AI-ish, even though I know it's probably not AI-ish. That's just, again, it has a very Street Fighter 6, 5-ish vibe with those posters, which I'm guessing the creators behind it were that was their aim. But I'm just kind of like, all right, let's see what happens with this. It seems like it has a lot more energy to it compared to that bullshit ass Borderlands movie.
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, we ain't even gonna talk about that. But with this, but like I said, with the Street Fighter movie, just showing me a teaser, I'm like, yeah, it's enough to get people talking, but not me. I already said I'm waiting for the real trailer. Either show me the real trailer at this point, or let me see the real movie, or something. The other thing that also kind of bugged me was Andrew Schultz's Dan.
I'm ready to see his face get punched in multiple times.
I mean, at this point, yes. If he is not treated like the literal clown shoe that he deserves to be treated for all of the super out of pocket things that he's said for like the past couple of years.
If there's any person to be Dan, it's him. I want us to get his face punched in. All right, cool, let's go.
And if anything, and to be honest,
I hope it's Akuma that does it.
No. To bring it full circle and to make everything all right in the universe, it has to be Balrog.
Oh, damn. 50 Cent punching him in the face?
Yes.
Ooh, man. Woo.
We need restitution for, come on, man. You said all this egregious stuff like against black women. Let the pettiest black man in hip hop be the one to punch this guy in the face. I saw him do
this. I was like, oh, you're getting your face punched in, sir. I don't care what you say. Hey, look, I saw the fucking poster and he had the all pink. I'm like, oh, you really gonna get punched in the face.
You know what I need, Chris? I need 50 Cent to do the Dirty Bull super on stomp on foot punch.
No, that's Dirty Bull.
That's what I'm talking. No, I'm talking about the other. I'm talking about the other Dirty Bull super from SF4.
Oh yeah, you just
stomps on foot, straight punch.
And I think it's also good that it seems like I said, it's a 45-second teaser, folks. You're not getting the full trailer. It seems like they definitely are holding off on some reveals. It seems because, like I said, we get that El Fuerte moment, and I'm like,
yeah, I mean, they're showing a bunch of out of context stuff, and I'm like, okay,
let's just see how this goes before we sit there and start, whether it's positive or negative.
I mean, I think we saw Elena in the movie. I was like, okay, we got some Street Fighter 3 characters in this.
All right, cool. Gang of Dragon got a trailer, and it's from one of the guys that used to work on with the group from Yakuza, and it's every bit of basically a love letter to Yakuza because I'm about to say Don Fry, fuck, the guy from Train to Busan, fuck.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. The big guy.
Yeah,
like,
dude, that punches you in the face and kills you. Yeah, he's the main character of this movie, of the game, and I saw it. I was like, I'm buying this because why not? I mean, if you got somebody that came from Sega and the Yakuza games, I'm pretty sure this is going to be pretty fucking good. And even some of the areas where the character is walking in, I was like, so we're back in the Yakuza territory. Cool. I'm fine with it. I mean,
while I am happy to see that, that's coming, you mentioned Yakuza, the new thing that did happen with Yakuza now, if you didn't already own Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2,
remade, they added, so they added,
they delisted all 3 of those games. I'm glad I
got the physical of the other one, so
I'm glad I already bought. I got them a long time ago during the Steam sale because they did separate them. So now you can go back and play the old one if you want to, but if you have a Steam account and you have those old games, it'll now say Yakuza Kiwami 1 Legacy and Yakuza Kiwami 2 Legacy.
Yeah, because what they did was, so one of the things about Yakuza 0, because Yakuza 0 dropped back when Yakuza 6 had came out. It was their way of sort of kind of doing a full circle of the Kazuma Kiryu sort of saga, basically, because 6 was basically the end of it before they did Like a Dragon and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth and stuff, which kind of was like epilogue to Kazuma and the Man with No Name.
Yeah.
Kind of the epilogue because everybody wanted some more Kazuma. But they added stuff for Yakuza 0 that kind of sort of retcons a little bit of stuff from Yakuza 1, but not really, in a weird way. And it got a lot of Yakuza fans feeling some way because it was like, this is the most unnecessary addition. And a lot of it is coming from the fact that they're coming out with Kiwami 3.
Yep.
Hence why they did the little small change in Yakuza 0, which I'm like, well, that was stupid because I don't know. It's stupid in the sense of unnecessary stupid. It's like, you didn't have to do this. Like, just do your Kiwami with Yakuza 3, which is what people wanted, and keep it moving. You don't have to add any sort of angle to it, but they're going to do what they're going to do.
It's Sega being Sega.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds slight, but it does make a difference when you're changing up story elements that kind of takes away what people loved about the Yakuza series and stuff narratively, a little bit. So, I mean, don't get it twisted. I'm excited for Yakuza Kiwami 3 because I always felt like Yakuza 1 through 5 honestly definitely need a lot of like changes in its gameplay significantly, especially coming off of Yakuza 6 and
some QOL stuff.
Yeah, just a lot of that stuff. Quality of life changes for sure because it just, as much as I enjoy those games, 3, 4, and 5 were always just, the gameplay was just like, it's not. I'm not really fun. Especially with 5. I was just trying to get that game over with because that's just how it is. So, like I said, I'm excited for Kiwami 3, but I'm definitely curious to see what changes that they made for that to kind of build it into what they changed for Yakuza 0. So, but that new Gang of Dragons game looked to be good. Lego Batman has a new one for was it Legacy of Dark Knight?
Lego. I'm actually kind of interested in playing that.
Did you play any of the other previous Lego Batman games?
I did not play any of them, but this one being honestly the closest thing we're ever going to get to the now pretty much cursed Arkham series. It plays,
Netflix might be owning it, so
yeah, but at least this game, from what we saw, it plays like an Arkham Batman game, and I'm like, hey, if it plays like an Arkham game, like an Arkham Batman game from old Rocksteady, not new one, because they have yet to put out a quality game. So if it plays like that, I'm all for it. I'm actually interested in playing it. Speaking of I know this one wasn't announced at the. It wasn't announced at the Video Game Awards, but this was a game that was announced prior to it. And because we haven't done an episode in a long time, I definitely wanted to mention this particular game because I was just thinking about it. I am looking forward to this game dropping next year, and that is Zoo Punk.
Oh yes.
I am not a furry. I don't have, you know what I'm saying? I'm not. However, you give me a brutal action game using a rabbit with swords.
I mean,
I'm in there.
I mean, look, you know what's interesting? We're in this sort of space right now in gaming. The Unreal Engine is obviously the go-to engine for a lot of these games. Somebody had put
still
up
don't understand why it's still like the most unoptimized engine walking right now, but
it's kind of funny because somebody put out an article that they hate the fact that a lot of games look the same, I guess, because of the Unreal Engine. Or
yes, because a lot of companies are completely ditching their in-house game engine, which separates them from everybody else.
Yeah.
When everybody is running their when everybody's game is running off of the backbone of Unreal Engine 5, or basically the community pool of game engines. If everyone is using that, everybody's stuff is going to look the same.
Yeah, it's that. And I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if they were specifically talking about Unreal specifically, but they felt like the gaming space, like a lot of games kind of feel the same and stuff. Like games,
especially if they're borrowing assets.
Like some of the games look like they look too much like God of War and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, that's a stretch, but like I get where you're coming from. Even though God of War I always felt had its own vibe to it anyways. Even with the new one in Ragnarok, I always felt it had its different vibe compared to a lot of these other action games and stuff, because it feels like a lot of those games were ripping off of the God of War games more than anything else.
But again, it all depends on the type of game that you're making. See, like in the case of Unreal, like I said, when you have all of these development studios going to the community pool to make their game, eventually these games are going to cross with each other in terms of what's similar versus what isn't.
Yeah, but going back to what you were saying with Zoo Punk, I think somebody put out a 15-minute like sort of gameplay stuff for it. I might be there with you because it definitely has a very Ninja Gaiden feel to it.
Yeah, and for this to just be an action RPG, brutal action game, I'm like, dude, I want this.
I mean, Ninja Gaiden 4, by the way, I need to still buy, but that looks pretty fucking good. Everything that I've seen of people playing it, because I'm so far behind because I've beaten Ghost of Yote, which has a new game plus addition to it, which makes the game pretty good. That and then plus Marvel Cosmic Invasion, good game. Definitely go. I double dip because I actually bought it on PS5 and I'm gonna buy it on the Switch.
So outside of you being outside of people being Marvel fans, I've heard from one particular streamer that I was just watching because he was streaming a different game and he was talking about, because both of them pretty much are similar, they're side-scrolling action beat 'em up games, but he was saying in his like from his viewpoint, there were moments in Marvel Cosmic that should have been hype and weren't hype at all.
I could probably understand that narratively, and I think that's just more so like maybe the game could have went more with it and stuff.
Yeah, like instead of trying to play it safe, you could have just pushed the envelope and just give us these hype moments. Like you look at Shredder's Revenge, for example.
Yeah.
Plenty of hype moments, like hype moments, whether it's gameplay, narrative, or whatever. Like it's there.
Like there's hype moments in Cosmic Invasion. Don't get it twisted. I think it's more so like if you had certain things like the Sentinels, maybe you felt like they could have did a little bit more with the Sentinels, or maybe actually one of the things they had was like the enemy variety could have been a little bit better, which that's fair. I mean, I totally understand it. Doesn't mean that the enemy variety isn't there. It's just, hey, maybe give us a little bit more enemy grunts, like from AIM and some like, cool. I get that, but it's one of those things where I think with any beat 'em ups, I think we are gonna probably hit a moment where folks are gonna be like, hey, you're gonna have to step it up more than what you're getting. Like I still haven't touched a new Double Dragon because it looked.
Me neither.
Because I mean, I like it, but it's just like I don't know if I'm gonna love it.
Wait, you're talking about the new 3D one?
Yeah.
So from what I've read review wise, I wouldn't touch it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's like potential is right there, but
it's not hitting where it should be.
It's not. It like somebody said, how is it that the last 3D Double Dragon game that came out on the PS3 360 era is better than this?
Meanwhile, that apparently that new Terminator game is actually hot fire.
That's where I was going. That was the next thing I was going to mention. So, really, as of this past weekend, Terminator 2 No Fate dropped, and I already said that this game was going to be fire when when they showed the first.
When I saw the trailer, I was like, it looks interesting. But like when I saw some gameplay stuff, I was like, holy shit, this.
And I watched like a number of people stream the game, and it was the. God, I wish I could remember the dude's name, but the guy that I was watching on Twitch who was streaming it, he said that he had just played Marvel Cosmic, and he was saying, look, a lot of these hype moments that are, like gameplay wise that happens here in Terminator, they could have, why didn't they do that for Marvel? Because like there were so many things that happened in this game that just slows the game down, and it's just not fun. Whereas with Terminator, it cuts all the BS, even with the cutscenes, they're like quick to the point, and it just drops you in the middle of, these gameplay moments, and you go through them. You're having fun with them. Like, it's not even so much that the game makes you slow down for anything. It's like, yeah, you got to do this. You got to keep moving, just keep moving, run and gun, and, and have fun. And of course it makes branching paths, because there's like, I think in total there, I believe there's like 18 stages to Terminator. Yeah. And
when I saw the fucking T-1000 truck shit, I was like, that's the one that really got me like, oh, I need to buy this game like stat.
For me, it was the chopper, the T-1000 chopper scene. Like I actually, because I watched the whole gameplay, and I said, dude, I really want to get this game now. Like I can't, like I was going to get it anyway, but I decided to watch like a full gameplay stream. And again, everything is hype, from the Pescadero hospital scene to the like the motorcycle and the truck scene. Again, the Cyberdyne Systems thing where you have to go through the game as Sarah, and you have to shoot guys in the leg. Like if you roll through and shoot everybody in the leg, like something different happens. Because when I watched his stream, he ran through, and I think he didn't shoot anybody I think like after he either shot somebody or he didn't shoot somebody, and it completely skips Arnold with the minigun shooting the cop cars. So like it'll skip that and go straight to the T-1000 helicopter scene of you escaping in the truck. So I'm like, okay, so certain actions that you do in the game will affect how the story plays out.
Hey, I think that's actually,
and that's kind of cool. I actually like that concept, because it basically forces replayability.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the thing that makes you want to go back and like, okay, let me try this way. And I mean, like I said, I need to buy that for sure. Mega Man's back.
I was, before we got, I was gonna say that for last. I was gonna mention one more game since like since we were talking about action games and whatnot. And shout out to Retrowave. I got Neon Inferno. I got a review copy, and I played it and I finished it. Game is fun. We're talking Contra level hard, where if you die, you got to start from the beginning of the stage. There is no checkpoint at that point. But it's a fun game. If you I don't know if you ever seen the if you saw the trailer for it, but Neon Inferno.
I mean, I mentioned Mega Man, but like also I saw a streamer playing this. In the world of fan games, somebody apparently made a 16-bit remake for Mega Man X8.
Yeah, those Mega Man X D make. Yeah, those D make.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I saw a person playing through it, and I'm like, oh, this is actually a pretty interesting sort of take of because let's be real, like if you're a person that's been following the X series, like the X series honestly peaked after some people will say 3, some people will say 4. I would say 3 is where it peaked personally, but 4 is serviceable. But after that, like the X series was just it's just there. Especially when you get to the later ones like X7 and X8, where it was kind of like a weird 2.5D game.
Yeah,
It just it didn't hit the way it did and stuff. And because that was like the latter half of the PlayStation era, wasn't it?
it was. I still believe that the first 4 X games were like peak.
Oh yeah, solid. So seeing this 16-bit of X8, I was like, and seeing this person play through it, I was like, this is actually pretty interesting. Maybe they should have just made the rest of the X series like that instead of going into the 3D realm the way they did and stuff. But
I agree. Oh, real quick, let me show you this trailer. I don't know if you've seen it, but the game is out.
I think I've seen like it's basically like music. Oh no, I'm thinking something else. Yeah, retro is making the comeback. It looks pretty insane.
Dude, this game is so much fun. Like it's definitely difficult, but like you get used to the control scheme. But I had a lot of fun playing this.
I mean, it's a lot going on. It's like Gunstar Heroes a little bit.
Yeah, in a way. Like learning the control scheme was definitely something.
I mean,
they're
definitely gonna be in it. Staten Island by Guns Knives.
You only get one time to do that too. That part kind of made me mad. I was like, what? I can't. Like, I couldn't buy like multiple upgrades.
I like choose it.
Yeah.
Not Yakuza, not Kazuya and Jin.
Right.
It's like on purpose. It's like, what if Nina and Jin teamed up?
Like seriously, when I saw the game, I thought it was awesome. And when I saw the main character, I said, dude, I would not mind cosplaying him.
I mean, it looks insane. Like I said, Metal Slug, Gunstar Heroes. Well, now it's available.
Yeah, it's out. Highly recommend it.
I mean, so we're getting 2 Tomb Raider games. One is a new game. Another is a remake of the first game, which I always felt doing a remake of the first game was a long time coming because God knows that first game definitely needs a remake. And personally, I think 1, 2, and 3 need a fucking remake because I'd be down.
I saw the trailer for it, and I was very, very surprised when I saw that Crystal Dynamics actually dared to go back and give us as classic as they could, the classic Lara Croft instead of Survivor Lara as we know from 2013 to freaking Survival of the Tomb Raider. Instead of that one, we're getting somewhat classic Lara Croft, and I'm happy for that. I was like, you know what, this is because for some reason Crystal Dynamics just kept trying to play revisionist history and act like classic Lara doesn't exist, because let's be real, she was a cultural icon in the gaming space, but because she doesn't have like the giant rack or whatever, everybody's gonna hate this version of Lara. And I was like, no, you actually gave her a good face and you gave her athletic build. So from the visual standpoint, I like what you're doing. I like what you're doing with this Lara, and the gameplay looks pretty good. So,
but it felt like
give me more.
But it feels like visually they just took what they did with those remake games and just it looks just personally visually it looks the same as the remake games. Like you didn't really.
No, that's what it is.
Yeah.
They took, not really the remake. I mean, they took the survival, they took the survival lore, like the 2013 Rise and Survival of the Tomb Raider games, and it's like they took that engine and put it into the first one.
Yeah, which means you didn't really have to do much in terms of really changing her visually. It's like, oh no, you're just taking what you already did.
I mean, they could have. They could have easily slapped survival Laura, in everybody's face.
I mean, it wouldn't have been bad. It would just been like we kind of because I mean, if you think about the classic games, we were playing, especially the first 3 Tomb Raider games, we were playing a very seasoned Lara Croft who was already.
Yeah, we were playing a legit.
So it would have been sort of backwards. Just give us this very teenage Lara Croft.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You give us femme fatale Lara Croft back. Where she wasn't just doing it for, I'm trying to be an archaeologist, or, I'm interested in the history and culture. No, she saw some gold, she saw some jewels. She's here to raid tombs, which is her title.
And then, and then maybe in Tomb Raider 3, aliens. Yes, Tomb Raider 3, folks, aliens. Imagine my surprise playing through Tomb Raider 3, and that was the reveal. The first, because when you're playing through Tomb Raider 3, it's standard Tomb Raider, and then when the story starts picking up, and it's like they start teasing the idea that something like extraterrestrial could be a part of the story, and I'm like, okay. And then there's a stage literally in Tomb Raider 3 called Area 51. I'm like, okay, we're going aliens, and then the final boss of the game is a literal fucking alien. The guy I'm like, you jumped the shark, game. You jumped the goddamn shark. And this says a lot considering a franchise that's on some Indiana Jones level.
Hang on.
Boom, aliens.
But hang on, Chris. You said it yourself. This was what, the 3rd game?
Yeah, 3rd game.
There you go. 3rd game. Dude, the 3rd game in anything is pretty much doors open, do whatever you want.
Fair.
You put out the first one, sold like hotcakes. Everybody loves it. You put out the sequel, bigger, louder, crazier. Cool. When you get to the 3rd game, do whatever you want. At that point, it's aliens, it's electric boogaloo, it's everything.
So
3rd game, 3rd movie syndrome. It's always the same thing.
Speaking of electric boogaloo, so shifting gears here, fighting games. About a few weeks ago, we found out that some organizers from the Tekken World Tour were banned for collusion. Now, if you're in the fighting game community, collusion is a well-known thing that has happened in various levels in the community, whether it's collusion between players,
prominent players at that, especially during the Street Fighter 4 era
and Street Fighter Cross Tekken era.
Yeah. And then and even in other games too, past Street Fighter, we've heard rumblings of that on the local side and sometimes at some of the majors, right? And I think when you had stuff like Capcom Cup and Tekken World Tour come up, there were a lot of questions of like, okay, is collusion's going to not be there? And I think a lot of people assume, okay, it's not going to be there because this is an organized thing from the actual companies like Bandai Namco with Tekken World Tour, Capcom with Capcom Cup. And then the shit came out 3 weeks ago about some of these tournament organizers that were running these Tekken World Tours colluding to kind of favor certain players. And Bandai Namco found out about it. And I think one of the players actually ended up receiving points because he more or less got fucked over because of said collusion and such. And I was like, oh, damn. And it kind of spawned the usual shit show of conversations surrounding collusion. And I'm just looking at it like, this is nothing new. It's just now companies are catching wind of this shit. So
if anything, this is just that same old adage of the more things change, the more they stay the same.
At least they're permanently banned. I'll give them that. It ain't no
I mean, that's fine, but trust and believe this ain't going to be the end of collusion. Dude, you remember when the FGC put out that giant book, the Bible of what was it? That's what was it? Standards and practices. the code of conduct book.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and a lot
apparently somebody missed the collusion chapter.
Yeah, because a lot of basically what was happening, it was basically it was overseas that it was happening, like in South America and stuff. It was basically like kind of like point fixing and stuff, which it's like, damn, that's so you're gonna fuck over somebody who did good in the tournament all because you wanted somebody else to fucking get the point. It's like it's such bullshit and stuff. So that finally got settled, and Bandai made a statement like, "Hey, this was not what the dojo system was supposed to be set up for, and we have zero tolerance." And I'm kind of like you, where it's like, all right, see how long this goes
until the next time, because
till
there's
next
always
time.
going to be a next time.
But Evo posted, which is kind of wild. It's pretty early for this, but whatever. They posted out their lineup for the 2026 Evo. So obviously Street Fighter 6. Tekken 8, Fatal Fury City of Wolves, Under Night in Birth, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, Rivals of Aether.
Rivals of Aether 2. I have the first one. So the fact that they're doing Rivals of Aether 2, which dope
What's
game.
What's the gameplay for that like? I never heard of it.
It's easy. I mean, I don't know if you saw the footage for it, but Rivals of Aether is basically animal version of Smash Brothers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Invincible versus Guilty Gear Strive, Virtual Fighter 5 Revo World Stage, which this is sort of like a rollout for the new Virtual Fighter 5 Revo.
One last hurrah before we finally get this new Virtual Fighter.
Vampire Savior, Blaze Blue, was it Blaze Blue?
Central Fiction.
That was the last one.
That was old game. Yeah, Central Fiction.
2XKO, which I think that drops next year?
Yeah.
Early next year. So that's the lineup. Some folks were kind of baffled that Marvel Tokon wasn't in it, which I'm assuming.
Well, here's the thing with Marvel Tokon, especially after this past weekend for anybody that was anyone who was in the beta. A number of people, because again, this is an open beta, it's not going to come with a training mode. And even if it did come with a training mode, whatever you're trying to learn from playing training mode for a beta, you do realize that there's a possibility that 90% of that stuff that you are discovering, and combo practicing could either be completely removed or changed entirely. Or it's not even going to do that level of damage that you think it's doing during this beta. So everybody, because of the lack of a training mode in a freaking beta, people are already like throwing it in the trash. And
honestly, I'm at a point right now with some of these dickheads in the FGC where it's like, guys, shut the fuck up and play the game. I don't want to hear anything about, oh, you just want toxic positivity. No. Nobody is saying that you can't critique the game. But recognize it's a fucking beta.
Not just that, it's a game that's not coming out until this time around next year, which is the reason why Marvel Tokon is not going to be at Evo, because I know that Arc Systems recognizes the the feedback that it's been receiving from people. Because you want to know what people like, what everybody's complaint is, because it's Arc Systems.
Because it's not playing like Marvel.
Not even Marvel. I believe people are more so looking at this and going, yeah, it's a Marvel fighting game, but because Arc Systems made Dragon Ball Fighters, they were expecting it to be
the
fast. That's what they're expecting.
It's like Fighter Z.
They wanted to be fast, like fast, crazy, instant tag battle action. Like Fighters, because we didn't get Fighters, Fighters 2, we're getting we're getting a Marvel game, and people thought, okay, let it play like Dragon Ball Fighters and we're good. It plays different. In fact, if anything, it plays like a Guilty Gear game with tag functionality. And
it plays like Guilty Gear with a little bit of Marvel 1.
Yeah. And because it's 4-on-4, everybody was under the impression like, oh my God, we get to
be insane.
Like it's going to be insane. We get to swap, we get to trade 4 characters. And like, how crazy is that going to be? And then you only come to find out you're 4 characters sharing 1 life bar.
Justin said it best. I think he nailed it. It has a King of Fighters vibe because the characters feel like strikers.
Yeah, they are.
Which I'm fine with. Because like I said, it's just like, I think my anger is just more like, guys, you hyped yourself up in your head thinking that this was going to be a Marvel versus game, and it's not, because you were very understandably so pissed off at Infinite. Understand? I
Yeah,
get
and
it.
the fact that
You-
Capcom is still sitting quiet of
yeah,
not putting out another Marvel game.
which that's their prerogative. That's another thing I
Yeah.
keep telling folks. It's like, guys, like at the end of the day, you came out with this fan thing for Ultimate Marvel 3, you adding all this stuff. It's
No, that was for Marvel Infinite.
well, yeah, Marvel Infinite.
You gave us Marvel Infinite and Beyond, which it was Max and like 8 other developers that, oh my god, y'all like went through the gauntlet of giving us better visuals. You added characters. You did a whole bunch of stuff, and yes, you are also correct on the Ultimate Marvel 3 thing where they dropped like that giant character roster
Yeah.
of like extra characters using borrowed assets from Marvel 3.
Yeah.
So you have 2 games now that have giant fan projects behind it, giving it extra life. And yet, because it's not an official game that has come out from from the official license holders, everybody's still sitting mad about it. And that's what I said. Look, let me give. I'm like, hey, Arxis, take all the time that you need.
Thank you. I'm
Please.
fine with that. It's like, yo,
Take
I don't need
all the time you need.
I don't need them to rush it. Am I going to buy Marvel Tokon? Yes, but it's at the end. I didn't get a chance to really get in the beta like I wanted to, but it was whatever. But it was just a discussion surrounding it. I'm just kind of tired of the fucking bullshit. It's like, you got people sitting up there doing this whole I can't fucking talk negative, and it's like, well, yeah, critique it, but like also if you're going to critique it, be reasonable about it. Like you said, this whole idea of like there's no training mode. Why the fuck would a beta have a training mode? First of all,
doesn't make any sense. The whole thing is to test. That's the only reason why they put out these betas. They want to stress test the online connectivity between players. That's going to be like the first thing that's going to be at the forefront is the online.
That's the first thing everybody complains about. Oh, the online
exactly. If the online
is
if the online is trash, people are going to drop this game.
Yeah.
So
and we've seen it historically with other games. If the online is trash, it don't matter how good the game is. People will be like, I ain't touching it.
Right. Like I ain't touching it until they fix it, or I just ain't touching it, period. And I don't care about the single player content. I want to get in so I can play with my friends online. And
I won't be sweaty.
Yeah, basically, we got sweaties and sweaties in training that want to play this game. And the problem is if you do not put this game out with a with the online being 100% on day one, this game is dead. Now, people are already trying to throw this game in the trash just because of 2 betas now for a game that's not coming out until Q4 of 2026. What are we doing, people? Are y'all really that starved for a fighting game right now? But you know what? That aside, you mentioned the other thing that you mentioned from this list of for Evo 26, Chris, is one that really stood out to me was Vampire Savior. Now,
yeah, because didn't they do a patch for Vampire Savior?
Not necessarily.
Or update or some shit like that?
No, it was a part of that Capcom Fighting Collection 2 thing.
Yeah, because I think they said that was actually updated or something like that.
That was updated, but here's the thing. Because outside of that one little patch or whatever, nobody from Capcom has said a thing about Vampire Savior. And the fact that Evo has decided to put this game in main stage category, it usually, I'm not saying this is going to be 100%, but usually when they add something like this to to a roster that's never been on the roster before, something tells me we're going to get an announcement of a new Darkstalkers game. That game that we were supposed to get back during the PS3, PS4 era of, for Darkstalkers, I think the idea of it, now I'm talking about a time when Ono was still a Capcom.
Yeah.
We were supposed to get a new Darkstalkers
10 years ago.
Yeah, but because of Capcom Fighting Collection 2, where they fixed the Darkstalkers games in that collection, I would not be surprised if they decided to throw their name back in the hat and give it another go for us to put out a proper Darkstalkers. I wouldn't be surprised if a team has been quietly working on that game while we've been, receiving these somewhat content updates for Street Fighter 6. Again, avatars get all the costumes in the world, but our characters, I mean, they finally drop a costume 3 or 4 trailer, and bro, the fact y'all dropped a trailer for just costumes,
look, I'm digging that people are still enjoying Street Fighter 6. I'm happy for. I think the best thing that has been great for Street Fighter 6 and Fatal Fury, I still maintain, is the crossover of having the characters in each other's respective games.
Yeah, you took 2 characters from each other's games and put them, pretty much threw them in there.
And it was a good thing. I mean, it's watching a tournament for Street Fighter 6 and seeing Terry as a viable character people are playing, it's surreal as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. And even watching City of Wolves tournament footage and people using Ken it's surreal as fuck. And seeing Ken in that City of Wolves gameplay and all that, it's weird, but it works. It's kind of like when you play SNK versus Capcom, you're like, okay, this is a little weird, but it works.
The one thing I do want is for City of the Wolves, when they announced their fighter pass or season 2 character pass or whatever, I really do hope that the next character that they bring in, or at least be a part of that pass, is Duck King. Duck King needs to come back.
I feel that's coming, given who they've been putting in and stuff recently. I'm like, you put Mr. Big in, I feel Duck King is happening.
I mean, Duck King, Mr. Big works because Mr. Big is lore. All right. I mean, prior to, this is prior to Geese, prior to everything. He was the main bad guy for Art of Fighting, and Art of Fighting exists in the Fatal Fury universe. And so now that they finally put these 2 worlds together, I wouldn't be surprised if Ryo Sakazaki shows up.
That would be interesting
if he's the new Mr. Karate, because if you remember back in
fucking Marco Rodriguez and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you have him, but just think, because this does take place in the further in the future of Fatal Fury. Imagine if we did get Mr. Karate himself, but it's Rio.
They did imply that in Guru Mark of the Wolves with that Enter the Dragon poster homage that made it seem as though Takuma was probably dead or something like that. And Ryo took over. So that does kind of track. Yeah, so, I can see that. I mean, yeah.
And of course, remember I told you we got scruffy bearded Ryo Sakazaki in Fatal Fury Wild Ambition as Mr. Karate.
True.
Which was a boss design. I love that look, and I'm mad that they have never went back to that design.
Man. A couple more things before we roll out of here. Itagaki, the man that created the Dead or Alive series and kind of helped it reviving the Ninja Gaiden series. RIP to him. I think one of the things that I enjoyed about him and Harada, is knowing that both of them were actually friends with each other, and they were actually kind of in the gaming industry in the same space for a while before they kind of went off into their separate.
They went to the same school, if I ain't mistaken.
Yeah, they went to the same school. So, knowing that here you have Itagaki, who was trolling the fuck out of Tekken is the same. My Dead or Alive series is so much better. And if you knew, you're like, oh, he's trolling, whatever, right?
I mean, he had nerve to go up to Harada in his face and say, "Your game is trash."
But we knew it was trolling. But it galvanized people in that online space to take a side in the Tekken versus Dead or Alive thing, to the point, because if you want Message Boys, people really were taking that shit serious. Nah, Dead or Alive is trash. See, look at the gameplay. I'm like, guys, Itagaki is trolling. What are you doing?
Itagaki's super trolling.
Come on, bro.
You do realize that's a good friend of his that he's trolling right now.
Yeah, they both are in on a joke. What are we doing?
This isn't like Ono and Harada. This is different.
Yeah.
Itagaki and Harada, they went to the same school. They know each other.
Yeah, I mean, and what's interesting is that one thing I would give Itagaki is that I appreciate how he did a good job of revitalizing the Ninja Gaiden franchise.
Oh yes,
the way that
you took a game that was hard like really hard, and you gave it to like, and you changed it. Like you gave us a fully 3D adventure in Ninja Gaiden, like action packed out the freaking wazoo with the first one, and then chef's kiss with OG Ninja Gaiden 2 on Xbox.
I will say this, but here's the thing: he had nothing to do with 3, which
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The first two, gold.
First 2 and Black, because he had a lot to do with Black.
Well, yeah. I'm not counting I mean, I don't really count the Black games because it's still the first game. Yeah, you added some refinements. You made.
Yeah, you could tell like the first 2 iterations of Ninja Gaiden plus the revised, he had a lot of hands on with that, which makes sense.
But
I give him that.
But no, but just off of first try alone, like you took these amazing games and dude, like, hey, listen, shout outs to Itagaki. I hope we get more Ninja Gaiden games that go in a proper direction. I mean, 4 seems to be doing a good job.
Oh, 4 is a return to form, straight up. Like, I'm like, thank you, because nobody liked 3. No. God knows, like 3 was like. Here's the problem with 3. It was like, oh, you didn't like the fact that Ninja Gaiden, the first 2 Ninja Gaiden games was so hard. All right, we'll dial down the difficulty significantly. And I'm like, okay, this is too goddamn easy.
Yeah, you dialed it down so much. I mean, you might as well give us the what was it? The flying swallow back and just make it OP again.
And then the story was just like, what the fuck is this? And oh, Ryu, he's regretting all the people he killed. I'm like, get the fuck out of my face with this bullshit. Like, what are we doing here? Like, why now all of a sudden it's like fucking was it not Shinobi, but the other game that was like your character had to keep killing. It was one of the ninja games that he had to keep killing.
Not Ninja Blade.
Nah, it came out on the PS2 and then they had a sequel. Fuck.
Not Shinobi, not Nightshade.
It was the game that Nightshade was a sequel of. Fuck.
Kunoichi.
Hold up, Nightshade. Hold on.
Yeah, because you play as the chick.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Hold up.
It was. I could have sworn the title was Kunoichi.
No, it is Shinobi. It was okay. So when they did the PS2 Shinobi game, the crux of that game was you had to kill enemies in order to keep your health up and you build up sort of stuff, which was it was definitely an interesting angle to Shinobi and stuff. And Nightshade was like, all right, you don't have to worry about having to kill enemies to stay alive, but we're still going to keep the sort of difficulty up a little bit.
Yeah, freaking Hatsuma. That one was Nightshade, which was the I don't want to say sequel, but it was more so. They did say that this was more of like, basically the female counterpart to Shinobi.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like, so Shinobi did his thing. I mean, look, people need to buy the new Shinobi game because it's actually really fucking good.
Yeah, Sword of Vengeance, I got that.
Sword of Vengeance, and then actually that and the other Ninja Gaiden game, Ragebound is good too. Because Ragebound takes place. They said it takes place between Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2, apparently. Allegedly. So but yeah, like Itagaki, man, that dude, like that Ninja Gaiden series, when they revived it, that was a game changer. Like it was like, because Devil May Cry was running the roost for a while, and then Ninja Gaiden came out and it was like, oh shit, Devil May Cry got competition finally. So it's like, oh, okay.
And from the Dead or Alive side of things, because that's really the game that he's known for. The first 4 Dead or Alive games, masterpiece. Like masterpiece.
Yeah.
They are, because for what they were, they definitely cemented their place in fighting game history.
Yeah.
And especially DOA 2. Like 2
is the one that everybody played the fuck out of.
Yeah, everybody loves 2. 3, like 3 was good for a first time on Xbox because he wanted to put his game on like the best console at that time, which was the original Xbox. But then when we get the Xbox 360 and we get DOA 4, that's where things like really took a turn of like, dude, like you can only go but so far, like in your accomplishments. I will say this, even though out of all his 4 games, the best one, like the best game in the franchise, honestly, is DOA 5.
Yeah,
In the like starting at the top of like number one is DOA 5.
of course. Like that
I would
that
say
was
5, 2, like 5, 2, 4, then whatever you want after that.
yeah. And
I don't
last
count it. I don't count incomplete games, so that's why I'm not saying 6. I refuse to say 6 because they pretty much Koei Tecmo pretty much abandoned that game and didn't even bother to finish it.
lastly, Harada is stepping away from Bandai Namco.
Yeah, Harada's out of here.
Where he's going, we don't know.
The fact that he originally said that he was planning to step away, he planned to retire after Tekken 9. He said he was going to wait until Tekken 9 and he was going to retire. The fact that this man is leaving in the middle of season 2 of Tekken 8 kind of...
I blame fans a little bit on that.
I don't really blame the fans. I mean, he already said that he's been pushing responsibilities and everything off to this new team that's been working on the game, and he's trusting this team to carry the torch on forward for Tekken 8. Now, if there's anything you want to blame the fans for, the fans that were like, hey, listen, Harada, thank you for doing everything that you did, from the Tekken series since day one, yada, yada, yada. And other people are saying, well, look, if you leave and take Michael Murray with you.
I mean, but that was my thing. It's like, I remember he was always teasing retirement for the longest time, but like,
I do find it interesting that he's seeking retirement just after the passing of Itagaki.
I mean, look, we talk about that, and like when Ono stepped away from Capcom, like
Ono
I think
was literally working himself to death. All right, like
yeah, but I mean, but still, like a lot of these people, you think about how many years they've been in the industry, you kind of figured they were going to end up having to step down anyway. Like nothing lasts forever. Let's just be real.
No, of course not. I mean, with the amount of stuff, I would say, like from Ono's perspective, from the amount of stuff that he went through at Capcom, the fact that he had to fight and beg Capcom to let him make Street Fighter 4, because Street Fighter was all but done with that, with that IP, and was like, no, we're ready to move on and put out something else. But he's like, no, I really do think that this is the time for us to bring out a Street Fighter game. Fans are asking for a new Street Fighter. Can we, let's just do this. I don't know how much arm twisting he had to do, but he made it work, and thank God, because fighting games pretty much got a brand new shot in the arm of a resurgence, and and here we are, we back. Fighting games is back.
I mean, hey, like I said, at the end of the day, they knew what they were getting into when they did it and stuff. So that's why I was just like, ultimately, I just was like, all right, cool, he's retiring. We'll see what the future holds. I'm not going to be on them skies falling. The Tekken series is done. Tip.
Oh no, I mean, Tekken has already been a far different game than all of its previous iterations, especially at this point. I mean, Tekken 8, this is by far the flashiest Tekken game in existence. Probably,
like I said, they
probably second to Tekken Tag 2.
Yeah, and my thing was, like I said, it's like anything else. Like in this era, we as fans, we should allow a company to do something unique, and we can still critique it. Like I know especially a lot of hardcore fighting game players weren't digging the sort of like push towards offensive based Tekken, especially coming off of Tekken 7, where you had your defensive.
Yeah, because you needed that balance, especially like for a game like Tekken, it needs balance. Being super offensive heavy because you wanted,
the streaming people,
you want the stream numbers and all of that. I mean, I get it, but you still got to find that balance.
But at the same time, like I think in their need of, and I think this is where fighting games are always going to have this conundrum. It's the aspect of how much more can you try to cater to casual players before you're like, yo, if you want to be good, you're going to have to practice, right? Nobody's expecting you to be a sweaty. No, but like you can't, there has to be, like you say, the balance of, okay, we don't want to keep our hardcore faithfuls, but we don't want to push away the casual market, like the people that probably want to play it. And I always felt it's always going to be a balance. Street Fighter 6 does a pretty good job of kind of getting that balance, especially with the modern controls and the classic controls, which I think is a good first step, because it's like you give people, okay, you want to play modern controls? Cool. Guess what? You're not going to do as much damage as your classic controller counterparts. So do with that what you will. That's the balance, which that makes sense. I think that's the good way to go about it, because you're not kneecapping anybody. You're just saying, hey, if you want to make it easy on yourself, do that, but understand what comes with that.
Yeah, the consequences of picking modern controls.
Yeah, and Tekken, and I think Tekken 7 did a pretty good job of having that for the most part. But on the other side of it,
no, 7 didn't have modern controls.
No, I'm saying in terms of like, just like if you're casual, you can play and you're not going to feel like you're behind. But
no, that was more so dedicated to certain characters, like case in point, Katarina.
Okay,
which is why she has not come back in 8. She was introduced to be like the easy to get into.
She was her character was in those like tournaments. Is like,
her character was in the tournaments.
Use.
She was a very easy to use character. But if you notice, she has not returned in 8.
Yeah.
And that's only because her design was to be that of, this is a character for the new players. And I don't think nobody liked Lucky Chloe enough, so she has not come back either. But we got Eddie back.
Yeah, and I think with
Tekken, we got that new girl, Miyari Zoe.
And I think with Tekken 8, it's the thing of like, all right, we leaned so heavy on offensive that when we did this patch, it really took all the bizarre nature of what the initial game was and took it to another level that it didn't need to go. And they've been fixing it since then and stuff. So it's like, I think going forward, whatever iteration Tekken ends up being with 9 or whatever, they have to kind of really have a soul search of what is the Tekken series at this point, and how do we strike the balance to not like quote unquote alienate people, even though in those situations you're going to catch hell from people any fucking ways. That's just the nature of it. But like, what can you do to make sure people know, okay, Harada may be gone, but the Tekken spirit is still there?
And what can you do at this point is trust your own product.
Yeah, I mean,
it's really all you can do.
Yeah,
take everything that Harada taught you and why you were in his team to begin with, and trust your product.
Yeah. So, but I will say, just overall this year, like I said, getting back into gaming, I think we're in a good space. I think, like I said, indie games are making a comeback. Like I said, both the Shinobi and Ninja Gaiden games were big games this year.
I'm glad that you said that too. That gaming is in a great space, because it really is. I mean, throughout
play more games, people. That's all you gotta do.
No, throughout this entire year, I've been seeing so many people drop these ridiculous TikTok videos talking about how much gaming is dead. And shout outs to the Black Hokage, who has just been basically getting free views and content off of it, because he responds to every last one of these videos, and and just proving his point that gaming is not dead. Gaming is in a very good space. We have gone now almost an hour and 50, and we have not coined this phrase of what these type of gamers that say this stuff are. These people that claim that.
Oh, you muted.
Sorry about that. I said we refer to them as the ball and gun gamers.
No, you know what? I'm glad he said that, because I think it's kind of funny, because like, if somebody were to come to both of our places to see our games that we had, they'd be like, "You play all these games?" Yeah,
I'm like, yes.
I enjoy playing games. Like, if you saw my PlayStation 2 collection, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, because I played those games, I enjoy playing games. It's, to be honest, it's the reason why like I kind of got away from stopping playing sporting games, because it just got fucking monotonous to me, and I was like, no, I didn't play something else, because this shit's getting fucking ridiculous. Like,
because these people get so mad if like for every game that drops, if they see that it's lacking a ball or a gun,
I don't want to play it.
They don't want to touch it.
Or if somebody on a stream ain't telling them to play the fucking game, then
But I am going to mention this, from the award shows that have come out. I forgot to mention your game actually did win.
South of Midnight.
South of Midnight won.
Yeah, for I think it's for the accessibility award.
Yeah,
look,
either way, it won something.
Nah, but
because you got to think about it. Microsoft did everything they could to just straight up ignore that.
But here's the thing. Accessibility features are a big deal.
Yeah, of course.
Because The Last of Us Part 2 remake, well, actually Part 2 and the remaster of it or whatever, the accessibility features on that game was fucking insane with the options and stuff. And then you get Forza, it had like a ton of good, like it's starting to become a thing to where it's like, even Ghost of Yote has some dope accessibility options on it and stuff. If you're a type like, hey, maybe you don't like doing the whole thing where you have to cut the bamboo and you have to hit the buttons real quick to do it, they have it to where you can just see what buttons you're doing it and just press those buttons and then it'll do it automatically afterwards versus having to do it as the animation is going, which that makes sense because some people they just want to play the game without having to do those little moments. It's an option that helps people enjoy the game more. So when you look at South by Midnight, which I have, the accessibility options is so crazy deep to where it does help you in terms of like how you play the game. So I'm glad it actually won that. Cause I think that's an indie game to a point to, like you said, it felt like Microsoft really was like, it's exclusive, but I don't know if we want to, I'm like, which is why it's going multi-platform.
They had no faith in that product, which is kind of funny to me. You get a game starring a black woman and suddenly there's like little to no promotion. You put out a trailer and you call it a day. Microsoft buried that title and they know it.
And then now it's going multi-platform, which means more people are going to play it on PlayStation and Switch. And then it's going to probably sell more copies because of that now.
And also, Chris,
it's so stupid. I don't get Microsoft. It's like, what's the point of having games?
Again, we can have a whole conversation, like a whole other special about Microsoft and their boneheaded decisions. This was the year that I officially cut off my my Game Pass.
Oh shit! I remember you told me that.
As soon as they announced that the last day of paying $19 a month or whatever, or 15.
They went up on Game Pass too. I forgot.
It's like $30 a month.
And that's the thing too, like,
and they've added nothing, like there was no incentives or nothing to justify spending the extra $15. So I said no. I'm canceling this.
Microsoft and Sony and even Nintendo to a degree, they're kind of being on their bullshit when it comes to their services and stuff, because it's like Nintendo, for example. And I've said it on this show multiple times. I hate the fact that what is the point of having a service to where I can play classic Game Boy games and you don't have none of the Pokemon games on there?
Because Nintendo, I don't want to say they don't like money. They very much do like. No, they very much do like money. The problem is how much money they like. See, gamers
play red and blue, can't play yellow, can't play gold and silver.
No, you can't play
crystal. Can't do that.
No, of course not, Chris. You can't play none of those titles, not legally. They expect you to hold on.
I want to give them my money to play those games. They are just like, fuck you, we're not going to give you that.
No, Chris, they refuse to do that because they want you to hold on to those old relic consoles. And
I still have them. Don't get it twisted, but fuck, man, like what?
Nah, that's they ain't about that life. They don't want to do stuff that makes sense. Instead, they would much rather just pump out a brand new Pokemon game and just tell you to play that instead.
This is the same company that's like, we gotta stop piracy. Well, dude, maybe if you gave people options to get the games, which is why they're pirating the games, you wouldn't have to worry about pirating.
You know what's funny?
What a concept.
You want to know what's funny? Here's something that's really funny, Chris. We got Honda to announce that they are making parts for their legacy vehicles like the NSX, the S2000, and Prelude,
Civic and stuff.
Civics and all that stuff. they announced we're making these factories that will produce brand new parts for legacy vehicles. We got that before Nintendo decided to announce.
Like, do you understand?
I mean, I mean, like, you can't get mad at people that want to go out and emulate these, like these titles, because if you can't give us a way for us to get this stuff in current day, nobody wants to go online searching eBay and paying for a sealed copy of Pokemon Gold for like $500. Nobody's trying to do that.
That's the thing it's just irking my mind, because it's like I had a moment with my Switch where I was like, damn, I would like to play the old Pokemon games again, just to go back through it, collect all the Pokemon, that kind of shit, because people do tend to have those moments. And you see people, no bullshit, you can go on Twitch right now, somebody's playing those old Pokemon games, whether they're speed running or they're just playing through it just to collect stuff. So there is an audience for that, and you're kneecapping yourself by not doing that. PlayStation is the same thing. There's zero reason why with PlayStation Plus, okay, I want to play some of the PlayStation 1 games. You don't even have your full PlayStation 1 library for that.
And you're never going to get it.
It's stupid.
Because whether it's them having to pay back, whether it's them having to pay royalties or license fees to get all those old PS1 titles up and running again on, through cloud gaming, which is...
I played Resident Evil 6 on cloud, never again.
No.
That shit is just because I was like, I wanted to play Resident Evil 6 for whatever reason. I was just like, I'll play through it again. Why not? And I played on that cloud thing and stuff, and I was like, oof, like it's cloud gaming is never going to be the thing that these companies are touting it to be. And
no, it's not.
It's not.
The other thing is you have these online services, your PSN. Now we have 3 tiers of PS Plus, which makes 0 sense. Game Pass is going up, and Nintendo's online is whatever at this point. How is it that you're forcing these people to pay these monthly, yearly subscription fees that keep going up, and you're offering no incentives to keep to keep people?
Wow, Steam free
PC gaming totally free.
Only thing I'm paying for is the game, and they're deep discounted sometimes regular price, and I still feel like I'm getting my money's worth because it's there.
Which has me, I'm sorry, like, I really hate to say it. I mean, see, I'm looking at you, CJ. I'm looking at D, and I'm just wondering, like, why do you guys continue to give this company money?
No, I mean, look, I like Nintendo. The only thing I have is that $5 a month shit for their quote unquote online, which I don't really use
which is crazy, because you got to pay for the online just to access all the legacy stuff that used to be in the eShop that you can go through the entire eShop and just buy whatever you want.
My Wii still has, I haven't hooked my Wii up in years, but like I remember I downloaded Link to the Past on the Wii because I wanted to play it and stuff, and at the time that was a big deal because like, oh shit, I can buy the Super Nintendo games for cheap. Cool, and then the fuckery after the Wii is where Nintendo got stupid and started delisting stuff, and it's like,
not just delisting, they delisted, and then when they shut the servers off, I think any of that stuff that you bought from the eShop won't work.
Yeah, and it's like, it's just one of those things where, especially when we look at Sony, it's like, Sony, there's a reason why people, when you put out that PlayStation Classic little small thing, people were looking at y'all sideways on that shit because you only have 20 games on it, and now everybody hacked it and put the whole library on the fucking thing.
And because of that, both Sony and Nintendo refuse to put out another mini console because they know that people are just going to do the same thing.
Yeah, but it's like they had nobody to blame but themselves for that shit, because it's like,
which is very true. But
you hate money.
But not even just these main companies. You even got these development companies, these publishers that refuse to play ball as well. Looking at Capcom, for example, people have been asking Capcom, can you give us OG classic Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 and Code Veronica on current day consoles and on PC, and they have the nerve to come out and respond to the public and say that, well, we believe that the remakes are superior and you should just be playing those.
Which I get it, but at the same time, it's like you should still give people options to go back and be able to play those games in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but Chris, that's the point. That's my point. Is you don't just tell people, oh well, we believe. Well, it's not about you. It's about your customer. Your customer wants these classics. It's not just one or two people saying, hey, I'd really love to play the DualShock version of Resident Evil 2 again. Like, can I get that? It's vast oceans of people asking for these classics, which thank God for GOG, for game like GOG.com, you can get these legacy games on PC and own it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like anything else, and it's not just us. There's other people that have been echoing this. It's just like these companies don't realize how much they can make money off of just giving people access to these things. And it like the money adds up over time, and then when you're taking that away, then you're all like, "Oh, piracy is killing our industry." Well,
but it's of your own doing. I mean, when you don't give people what they want, people are going to go find it elsewhere.
Thank you.
That's just how it's always been. I mean, it's always been like that. The same thing even applies to these streaming services. Every time Netflix takes something away, and no, I don't want to spend money on Hulu or HBO or whatever.
To ride the pirate wave.
Yeah,
most people are doing right now.
We're gonna be out here sailing the 7 seas and just getting it and keeping it digitally. Allegedly,
people are doing well with the rise of PC stuff due to the fucking AI.
Oh yeah, that's another that's a whole other can of worms.
Me and you say no, we're saving that for 2026 because I feel 2026 may be the year of AI. Like on that, it's slowly coming, but it's going to crash, and that's not us saying that. It's looking like that's going to be a thing that's going to actually happen within the next 2 to 3 years. It's slowly crashing and imploding on itself.
But still on the subject of gaming, though, Chris, because I would tell people, and I still tell people to this day, if you want to get into gaming, build a gaming PC.
Build it now while the price is not stupid now.
Oh no, the price is already stupid.
The RAM, mainly for the RAM.
Yeah, just for the RAM, but the graphics cards is slowly creeping up in that.
Get it right now,
and like I said, it's difficult because even if you think, oh, I'm going to be smart and I'm going to get DDR4 RAM instead of DDR5, no, all RAM period is through the roof.
RAM used to be, somebody pointed it out, because the guy because right now the big thing now with all the streaming stuff is people are making their own home servers to have their movies on so they can just watch anywhere in the house, which is a smart move. One guy was saying it's wild. 3 weeks ago, RAM was 120, and he said now it's $200.
It's not even that. Like it might be 200 just to get.
Well, I said 250.
No, I'm sorry. It might be 250 just to get 32 gigs of RAM.
That's what he was saying. He specified it to that.
But if you're somebody that's trying to go 64 gigs, 128 gigs because your motherboard is compatible with that amount of RAM, you're about to spend like almost $2,000. You're going to spend the total amount that it would cost you to build a high performance gaming PC on just a stick of RAM.
Yeah, and that's the sad state of affairs with where AI is going, because like when we were in the pandemic, graphics cards were stupid ridiculous because of the
because of crypto. Because of crypto that crashed, burned, and slowly trying to make a comeback now.
Which it ain't. And then now with AI, it's the RAM. And bear in mind, this is a cycle that happens whenever the tech industry finds something within the computer market ends up skyrocketing in fucking price because of whatever new thing that happened and stuff. That's why I like the AI shit. I mean, even to the point that, funny enough, during the gaming awards, people were commenting on how like Arc Raiders, which won a couple of awards, apparently some of the characters that had voices was AI. Allegedly. Yeah.
Just like how I think it was Amazon got caught under fire
for having AI dub and the
AI dub, like for having AI dubbed anime, which was woof. But no, this whole thing right now with RAM is just utterly ridiculous. And to make matters worse, the main source of RAM, like the company that actually makes the sticks for RAM, Micron, pulls out of the consumer market, and they literally sold themselves to the highest bidder, being the government. They're like, we're just gonna make, we're just gonna make RAM for the government or any private companies that wants to buy our stuff wholesale, and we can charge them this much money. Now, if you're a consumer and you want to get some, some good high quality RAM, get ready to pay through the nose like everybody else does, and that's what's ruining it.
I mean, look, we'll see how the next year goes, but like I said, just this whole year, like I said, indie gaming is coming back. Folks, just go out and just play a wide variety of games. Don't get past the gun and ball games.
We've been saying it from the beginning. Expand your horizons.
I mean, look, there are some games that ain't gonna be your vibe. That makes sense. That's the whole point of variety. Variety is the spice of life.
This isn't the 90s where we got a game where throughout the whole year we might have gotten maybe 6 or 8 games for a whole year.
Yeah.
We now live in a space where we're getting 6 to 8 games in every 2 weeks.
Yeah, and like I said, with the rise of where we're at in this gaming space and stuff, and like I said, I think Expedition 33 really kind of blew open the door that, hey, you don't have to break the bank to make your games, which, funny enough, that's the reason why all these studios are in deep shit, and especially Microsoft, is because there's no reason you should be spending like fucking $500 million on a goddamn game. That's insane.
Well, and just like the other, unlike the 90s as well. God, you remember what game sales looked like back when we had to go to the store to get games?
Bruh.
Dude, seeing the game being discounted by $5-10 felt like Black Friday shopping to us.
Yeah, and I mean, because it was just
like nowadays you got a game sale like almost every 2 months.
Bro, like Expedition 33, funny enough, right after the Gaming Awards, PlayStation discounted it. You can get it on PlayStation Network for like $30 now.
Yeah, same thing with Steam, Epic Games Launcher, all of them drop
now
sales like almost monthly.
And now, hey, you didn't play Expedition 33. Now's a great time to get it, because guess what? They got new free additions to it, new bosses and new stuff. Oh shit! All right, cool. And that's how it should be. It's that's how these companies are gonna have to get back on track. They have to realize you don't have to spend a ton on a game,
and this is where we are in the gaming industry. But gaming is dead. Remember?
Oh yeah, of course. But anyways, yeah, this is fun getting back into the swing of things and stuff. But I guess we'll see you guys next year as we get back into the swing of things, pressing buttons. But this was fun, sir. So catch you guys later. Peace out.
That boy is Benny Hanna.